What's going on, people? I know you're used to the Scully, but it's warmed up, so I got the baseball cap back. That's right. So anyway, I knew this was gonna be a video eventually. I just didn't know when I was gonna make it. Me and a friend of mine were talking on the phone, and I figured it was about time we talked about it. Due to the fact that, put this on mute. He said he'd been noticing more and more posts saying that 2018 is going to be the year of the PS4. And more people seem to be, I guess, quote unquote, worried about the state of PlayStation due to the Xbox One X and the Nintendo Switch. And I'm going to keep it 100% funky with y'all. As y'all know, I tend to be 100% raw about a lot of things. You rightfully should be worried. Not only should you be worried about the PlayStation's state of affairs, but you should be worried about what it means now that PlayStation has a legitimate not just one, but they have a legitimate competitor from both sides. You should be concerned because PlayStation has pretty much been on easy street since 2013. They had 4 years. 3 of those were back-to-back non-stop PlayStation. One of those, in fact, were pretty much dominant. However, they did have speed bumps in one of those years. That's why they said 3, not 4. But for 4 years, they went unaccounted for, just winning nonstop. But they did have one of those years where they did see some losses. Okay. However, we are going to start to see PlayStation slow down. And I understand. It scares people. PlayStation has been the dominant brand this generation. However, you don't want to hear that it comes at a cost. You don't want to hear that the only reason PlayStation has been dominant is because Nintendo literally hasn't done anything up until this point. You don't want to hear that PlayStation has only been dominant due to the fact nobody wanted to buy an Xbox in 2013 except for the people who were only Xbox gamers thanks to Dom Matrix. You don't want to hear that because that makes doubt enter your mind. That puts a question right back here in the back of your mind of, well, what if PlayStation had come out and gone head to head with the slim Xbox One, the base model PS4? What if it would have came out and gone head to head with the slim model PS4? What if that VCR Xbox One had never existed? What if the Dom Matrix 2013 had never happened? That question hurts a lot of feelings because it raises a lot of questions, and the fanboys start coming and they start touting about how it doesn't matter, we could still shout about 70 million this, 70 million that, but we won't point out the fact that during that 70 million, Nintendo Wii U was off doing its own thing in La La Land, and they weren't doing anything. They were asleep and creating no ruckus whatsoever. And the Xbox brand was in shambles and flames and pretty much waiting on the fire department. That right there is the part of 70 million that nobody wants to acknowledge. That's why when you watch me and I talk reckless about PlayStation, or I get a little carried away about it, it's because I sit there and I think about that kind of thing. What if Xbox One S was the 2013 Xbox? There was never a VCR model Xbox One that was uglier than sin, and the PS4 base model and the Xbox One S were to go head to head, and those two were 2013 models. And PS4 in 2013, who were praying for a miracle, had to legitimately put up the fist and go bout for bout, blow for blow against the Xbox One Slim. What would have happened then? And what if the PS4 Pro was legitimately put up in a fight against the Xbox One X? Because nobody likes to talk about that. See what I'm saying? Nobody likes to talk about that. Because when you start to talk about that, then you see the true colors come out about how we got to tout about the numbers. We can't tout about the power, we got to tout about the numbers. But if we tout about the numbers and you start pointing out how the numbers are not real, we got to tout about the power. But if we tout about the power and you prove how the power is bullshit, we got to tout about something else. But if you prove how this is bullshit, we got to find something else to tout about. That's why this ring around the rosy bullshit that's been going on this generation is starting to crumble. Okay? It's almost like you've been building a sandcastle and high tide has come in. Okay, if I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. If it's low tide, my bad. But I believe it's high tide. It's like you've been building a sandcastle out on the beach, and you called your castle PlayStation, and you're so proud of it. You're super excited for it. You've invested a lot of time into it. You build everything up. You even got a little moat for it, and here comes the water in, and the moat didn't work, and the water's crushing it down. That's what we're seeing. Because before the Pro came out, you had Microsoft tell you, hey, the Pro's cool and all, but ours is going to do and have so much more. That happened. I'm not trying to boost and boast over Xbox. I'm just telling you what happened. Okay? And it was almost like a switch, like that quick, if not faster, like a blink of an eye, that we went from like a 3 to 4 year trip over power, teraflop titties, 60 frames a second, HDR, and all this bullshit that has nothing to do with the overall experience of the game and how we actually handle the game, how we, play the overall game, to convenience. That scares a lot of people with the Nintendo Switch, because the Nintendo Switch came out and it basically happened overnight because of that system and how convenient it is. Nobody understands what's going on with that system because it's not powerful. It's not. I'll be the first to admit it. It's not powerful. The games look good. They do. They look good. The games that are third party are passable. They're playable. And you can take it on the go. Which is why I say it's a convenient factor. The convenience of it is there, and that's the most important thing about it. And people are just like, I don't get it. And that's what I mean by high tide coming in and ruining that sandcastle, because it's almost like it's a safety blanket for that sandcastle while the moat's there. That's the safety blanket. But that safety blanket hasn't done anything. It didn't help. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, you had that 3-4 years of PlayStation, and they sold tons and tons of units. They moved 70 plus million, which I'm not saying it's not impressive, but at the same time, you have to be able to fully admit, for like 3 of them 4 years, they had no competition. And when you have no competition, you can move many units. You can move anything. When you're the only competition on the market that has anything that is anything, are you not going to be able to move anything? Are you telling me that between Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo, the three that's on the market, when the Wii U isn't doing anything and the Xbox is in shambles and PlayStation is the only one there, pardon me, and you're telling me that they're not going to be able to move? Come on, you've got to be kidding me. PlayStation is going to be the only one to sell fucking units because nobody trusts Xbox. After 2013, they lost all credibility and had to start earning that back, which is what they've been doing, slowly earning people back. Which is why they came out with the Slim. That's why they came out with the Xbox One X. Because they've been trying to earn that back. They've been trying and trying and trying. And that's what we have here. Okay? And if you're worried about what's going on with PlayStation, look, numbers eventually slow down. Okay? You'll never get the numbers of the PS2 to happen again. And the reason you're never going to get the PS2 numbers to happen again is because, in all honesty, that was a fluke. I'm just going to keep it 100% funky with you. It was a fluke. That system came out at the right time. And what do I mean by that? That system was the answer to something that needed to be answered. You had a format that was dying, VHS. The PS2 came out and it was the answer to the dying format. You could play video games and you got a DVD player. Something that a lot of people wanted. Couldn't afford a DVD player by itself, but you could buy a PS2 and you got a DVD player. So you had people who had no interest in video games buying a video game console. That demand does not exist anymore. Why does that demand not exist anymore? Because it's taken too long to go from DVD to Blu-ray. Are you aware that there's like 4 formats on the market? I almost said 3, but there's 4 formats on the market now, and 3 of them are dying. There's DVD, and it's still around. There's Blu-ray, there's 4K Blu-ray, and this thing called digital that is killing the other 3. Digital is already killed off CDs. That thing from the 90s that we used to all walk around with a Walkman. Remember those? Remember the Walkman used to be cassette and then the CD killed off the cassette? Well, the digital MP3s killed off the CDs. Yes, you could still find them, but how many people honestly go out and go, man, let me buy that new Jay-Z record? And I mean on an actual CD. Not many. He's probably sold way more MP3 versions of his shit than he has actual CDs. Get what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with movies. The PS4, the Xbox One, even with the Xbox One X and the Xbox One Slim, they could reach major heights, even way bigger heights, had DVDs been wiped out with the PS3. Had the PS3 come out and probably taken about a $600 price cut instead of a $3 and made Blu-rays as affordable as they did DVDs back when the PS2 was out, then Blu-rays would have made the jump and the format DVD would have died off then, and we would have seen that jump because then, oh hey, 4K Blu-ray came out and the Xbox One adopted it. Oh hey, cool, maybe that means it'll be pushed. But then PlayStation didn't make that jump. And the format's not going to survive. Because digital's here. Digital is now. It might not be 100% now, but it's here. And while it's a slow death, it's still a death in happening anyway. Digital is here for gaming as well. You see what I'm saying? So, due to that, that's why when it comes to all this, it's never going to hit that again because, like I said, PS2 just happened to answer that question. You could buy a DVD player and a gaming system, so you had people who were never interested in video games buying gaming systems. It will never happen again. And that's the reason why. Unfortunately, Sony, you might hold the patent to 4K, Blu-rays, DVDs and such, but due to your lack of understanding that, due to your lack in actually fucking putting it out there like you should, you'll never be able to do it again. And you can say that's bullshit. But if you look at the way the PS2 was run and the way the format killed off the VHS, That is exactly the formula that did it. Okay? Because before the PS2 came out, what game system was it that was on the market with a fucking DVD player in it? The PS2 came out first. And that was the only gaming system at the time with a DVD player in it. Then came the Xbox. Had the Xbox came out first with a DVD player in it, then it'd be owned by Xbox. Xbox would own the credibility to it. But they came out second, not first. But because they did it that way, DVDs killed off VHSs so much faster. And then with the PS3, because PS3 was so fucking much more cost more, DVDs have been able to survive longer. Digital will unfortunately see Blu-rays and 4K die fast as fuck because it'll eventually take over. And we'll eventually have the same thing with the gaming systems. And the problem is, you have a company like Sony who, because of their lack in understanding that, caused it. You get what I'm saying? Well, it cost us too much money with the PS3 at $300 at a loss. Bitch, that's your fucking problem. That's not mine. I'm a customer. You're the fucking company. Understand? You shouldn't make the fucking product so fucking far advanced at such a problematic period in time. Maybe you should have done like Xbox 360 and went with the high definition DVDs and waited till the PS4 to do Blu-ray. I'm just pointing it out, okay? But that's a subject for another time. However, with the PS4, when it comes to their sales, yes, they're going to slow down. Because in 2018, they have legitimate competitions. Both Nintendo and Xbox One have become more legit competitors in this fucking gaming console cycle. The Xbox One has actually become a more respectable brand now, more so in 2018 than it was in 2013. And Nintendo has pulled a 180 on everybody with the Nintendo Switch from the Wii U. It's definitely something people are starting to mess with because of the convenience of it, more so than the Wii U ever was. Okay? And you can say I'm making that up all you want to, but I own the Wii U, I own a Wii U, I have the Switch, and I have more games on the Switch in its first year than I ever did on the Wii U. So I'm just pointing all this out because, again, I can hear the people before they even say it, and nobody else is going to say this shit. Okay? Nobody else is going to keep it funky like this with you because they have people they gotta have okay it. Alright? Nobody's saying nothing to me about it. I'm keeping it real with you, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Alright? I'm looking at this shit through my own eyes. PlayStation 4 Pro is a gimmick. If we put the PS4 together like we did with the Sega Genesis, we have PlayStation being Sega in 2013 to 20 whenever the PS4 ends. That's what we have with the PS4. It's basically Sega Genesis. PS4 base, PS4 Pro, and the PS4 VR. That's what the fuck we have right now. You could say it's not, but if you can honestly tell me what the fuck the PS4 Pro was made for, other than VR, because they're not really doing shit with it, then maybe I'll give it a pass. But until then, PlayStation 4 is looking more like Sega Genesis every fucking day, only with better graphics. Xbox One started out on such a bad foot and has managed to turn things around incredibly. They have a lot of problems, yes. Play Anywhere is a big problem because they've taken away exclusive gaming and have created this watered down version of what they used to be. The Game Pass is actually really worth it. However, they have problems in there, considering that you only get games that they give you throughout the year for free, and you don't need those. But it's $10. So if you invest 60 for the year and $10 a month, you never have to buy a game again. So I mean, it's not bad. And then Nintendo pulling a complete 180 from the Wii U to the Switch and becoming the most convenient core portable console of all time. PlayStation, you went from 2013 to being on easy street to 2018 having competition. It's time for you to figure out what the fuck you want the PlayStation 4 to do. And do it already. Because you don't have easy street anymore. Two consoles that you put to the wayside are legitimate competitors now. And that's the honest truth. Deuces.